Hello, hello. Welcome to another Sunday night stock talk. It is January 12th, 2025. We have a lot to go over. We have the most anticipated earnings releases. We're going to go over the NASDAQ market, the gold market, Bitcoin, as well as a couple of stocks that are on our weekly watch list. So welcome. Hope you guys are excited to be here. How to let's see here. Give me 1 second to share my link and get a few people to tune in, and we will get started here, guys. Glad to have you all here. There we go. All right. You guys can refresh your page for me. That would be greatly appreciated, as I did not have the right thumbnail and title. Okay. Hello. We got 2 minutes until 6 o'clock, and we will get this started. You guys have not voted yet, go to the Discord. First link in the description. It's 100% free to join. But if you haven't voted, what is right here? What is the best time for you to tune in to our weekly Sunday stock talks? 2 of you voted so far, 10 a.m. And then we have 2 p.m. and 4 p.m. I think 6 p.m. is just a little bit too late for most of the world. So check it out. And for all of you who don't know who I am, my name's Johnny Trades. I help anyone really who's interested in learning more about how to make money in the stock market, whether it's through day trading, swing trading, long-term investing, dividend capturing, learning how to make money passively through monthly paying income stocks, all that stuff, even getting into real estate, car flips, and a ton of other little small business ventures. That sounds interesting. Definitely subscribe to the channel. Okay, I think we got all the links spread. 1 minute to get started here. Also, we have a community of over 72,000 members now in our Facebook community. I did create it, the Investing for Beginners community. It helps new beginners learn how to invest and get started. Also, I have a series of helpful videos that can help you learn a little more about day trading and swing trading, which is what I do now currently. Definitely check it out. Okay, I believe the links are spread enough to be able to get started. There we go. Tuning in. Perfect. All right. So, most anticipated earnings releases for January 13th. Looks like there is a lot of banks that are going to be reporting their earnings this week, starting on Wednesday. JPMC for Citibank, Wells Fargo. Also BlackRock, who's also very influenced with Bitcoin and much of the markets. But we do talk about BlackRock quite a bit on the channel. Thursday, we also have United Health Group, Bank of America, Morgan Stanley, US Bank, First Horizon National Corporation, PNC, M&T Bank, Bank OZK. So there's a lot of banks reporting earnings this week. Friday, we have a few other companies here. Could blow that up a little bit for you. All right, those are the most anticipated earnings releases for January 13th, 2025. Moving on, QQQ. We have talked about this in a past video, I believe a day or two ago, talking about how the market can potentially sell off. You guys definitely check out that video, as I do have that available for you to watch. Where was it? Okay. This one right here, stock market sell-off. Why does it have to be so big? Anyways, that's the thumbnail for it. And saying that, QQQ is at that key level of 506. So it's just been consolidating in this downward trend level, and eventually it can snap either up above or below. But I'd love to see a nice little retracement with QQQ this week, you know, back up to highs of 520, 525 for a nice 3.5%. If that is the case and we get a nice retracement, then I would be investing in TQQQ this week, as that could benefit more than buying $500 a share. I could buy $76 a share worth of a company, and buying at $76, selling at 89 to 93 would result in 17 to 22% profit if the market does remain bullish and stay above the support level. Now, if it breaks this support level, we're going to find out in the morning. Okay, and you guys can tune in to our morning live stream where we go live every morning at market open and we day trade. I record myself day trading. You can get inside my head, ask questions, and follow along as we make these trades. So definitely subscribe, hit that notification bell, and tune in the morning to watch those as soon as tomorrow, if that's what you want to do. Now, if the markets do begin to sell off, okay, if QQQ cannot hold this support level and begins to sell off to to 500 to 490, then I would be willing to invest in SQQQ. This would be a little bit more risky because we'll be investing in shorting the market. So we are betting that the market will go down if we invest in SQQQ. Okay, and when we called this out a couple of Sundays ago, it was as low as $26. Buying at 26, selling at 32 is a 20% profit for a $5 per share profit per move. Okay, now it's sold off 14%, about the same amount, about $5, and then went right back up from $28 to $32 for another 15% profit, and again for another 15% profit. Okay, so this could technically begin to retrace just from its past history here. As you can see, going not only 1, 2, but now almost 3 times, repeating itself, the exact same pattern. So I would love to see what this does tomorrow morning if QQQ does sell off. Now, through history, it's showing that it does recover. So SQQQ is very risky. This would probably showcase signs of downward trend. If it sells off, then that gives us an opportunity to buy into TQQQ. Okay, I hope that's not too confusing. Now, if it does sell off, then there is still a little bit of room for margin here, from $32 to potentially $33. That's $3.70, 3.75%. You can also retrace from $32 to maybe $35 or even $37. If the markets do sell off a little more, then we could ride SQQQ up while the markets sell off. It can go to $37 for a nice 15% profit. So either way, whether the markets sell off or whether the markets begin to go back up, I will be trading one of the Qs tomorrow if I do see potential. Now, if there's just a lot of consolidation and it's kind of weird like this where it's just real choppy, not much is happening, then we may have to wait to take a trade. But if we see signs that it does something like this where it just kind of starts popping up pre-market or during market hours and starts to show signs of it being bullish, then we would definitely want to get in on that trade and take advantage on TQQQ. So that's the overall markets for this week. Now, gold Again, gold is at one of those key levels. Looking at the 4-hour chart, now it has bounced at that key support level that we keep tracking. Okay, we keep tracking the support level here at $35, and it seems to be holding since April of last year, April of 2024, above $35. Now, if JNUG can hold above $34 and begin to retrace even back up to those highs of 50 bucks, then we could see a nice potential. Whoever bought in at say $35 when we first called it out on last Sunday night Stock Talk, okay, when we first called it out, could potentially make 40%, 40 to 41% profit on this swing trade. Now, I don't necessarily swing trade right now at the moment. I have in the past, and maybe I will in the future. But recently, I've been basically day trading. So when we see signs of upward momentum, like say right here, there's a lot of upward momentum at 39, bouncing off of that 9-day EMA and pushing up. That's a nice 4 to 5% profit in a single day. Now, for those swing traders out there and people who are investing long term, you can see this has already pushed up from when we called it out to highs of $42 for a nice 20% profit. Okay, and there's still a lot of room for this to continue to go up. Now, on the 4-hour chart, it is hitting a key critical area, and as you can see, it did bounce off of that 200-day moving average, and it's acting as a resistance. Now, with that said, resistances are very good indications. Sorry, multitasking real quick. Here we go. Okay, resistances right here can show strong indications of it not holding any more bullishness. It could actually get rejected the same way it got rejected when it touched the moving average here. Came up a little bit, but got rejected. Now it's holding that support at 35. Will it get rejected, or will gold continue to go up? Now remember, if gold goes up, then JNUG would be a nice play, especially above this moving average. It would show everyone else that this is bullish, and we can get back up to previous highs of $50. Now, the exact opposite. If we feel like, hey, JNUG is actually bearish, it's not going up, it's going to continue to sell off, showing strong signs of selling pressure. Again, just like the market, lower highs and lower lows, and if we draw a trend line, you can pretty much draw it perfectly, just like that. Okay. Oh, come on. This thing always gets in my way. Okay, you could draw a trend line touching key points, and you can see it's at a crossroad, right? It's right here. It's getting squeezed. It hasn't made any newer highs, right? Every time it touches this trend line, it gets rejected. Now it got rejected again, but it's also holding this trend line. So tomorrow could be a very significant day. Are we going to be bullish on gold, or are we going to be bearish? If gold does begin to sell off, okay, if it doesn't hold this and it begins to sell off and go back down to support levels, then JDST will go up. Okay, now this is a 2 times ETF or double leveraged ETF bear for gold, right? So we want the gold market to go down if you're investing in JDST. Now, if it can hold this support and the gold actually does sell off, then I would be interested in buying JDST tomorrow, as this has potential to go up about 15% as well. As you can see, when it is very bullish or bearish, you can see buying even at 27.69 and going up to 30.49, that's a 10% profit. You guys see this little area right here? A 10% profit. So there is some money to be made even in a single day trade. Whether you day trade or swing trade, there is something available for you, probably with one of these levels here. Okay, crypto. We're gonna go over crypto, and then we'll get into our watch list. Hope you guys are all doing okay. Hello, hello. Thank you for joining. Smash the like button for me. Bitcoin. Now, we've talked a lot about Bitcoin. I don't want to spend too much time at it, but time of recording is 95,000. So it has been holding up to its support levels, right? But same thing with the markets. It's just creating lower highs and lower lows, okay? And we're going to kind of track this like this. There we go. Okay, so as you can see, it touched this area here, got rejected. Tried to get back up to this level again and got rejected. Now, it can still rally. You know, there's still money to be made. There's no doubt about it. This can still rally, go back up to these $99,000 levels. But it can, two things can happen. I read a report and I actually made a video just a couple of hours ago. You can check it out after this live stream, talking about how, you know, it can go two ways, guys. This can go back to 50,000 or 70,000, right? It can do that. But it can also go up to 200,000. So just like with past history with Bitcoin, we get these huge rallies and then these huge sell-offs and then this huge rally and potentially another huge sell-off for another big rally. What we don't want to do is, one, miss out on when the rally does happen, and two, we don't want to buy so high that when it pulls back, we lose a significant amount of money or put so much pressure on us mentally that we sell at a low and lose, you know, 50% of our position. Okay, so I want you to be aware of that, and I have videos updating you more and more on that as well if you want to check them out. Several videos over the last week and weekend going over Mara, MSRT. Basically, I had a video that started it all. Mara buys Bitcoin 1.53 billion, basically copying MicroStrategy's playbook to buy Bitcoin. Well, then we have BlackRock selling more Bitcoin from a previous video that I had already made about BlackRock selling $188 million worth of Bitcoin. And then we had DOJ. Another video that I just put out. These are all thumbnails. You can check them out on the YouTube. DOJ sells 6.5 billion Bitcoin. So, you know, there's a lot of people, there's a lot of retail investors, there's a lot of major investing firms that are anticipating Bitcoin to sell off and pull back. That's okay. That's what we wanted to do. And even trading Mara, you can see the significant difference from highs of 99,000 and 100,000 when Bitcoin was at those highs, trading at $30, $25. Well, look at this. Mara just hit, or Bitcoin hit 102,000, and Mara only went up to 20. It should have gone all the way up to 27, 28, $30. Well, it didn't. And there is a decay factor with Mara, and I talk a lot about that in the very last video that I recorded, the most recent one after this live stream. So, time of recording, Bitcoin's doing good, right? They're doing okay. They're still holding above 91,000. If they do break below 91,000, just like the markets potentially tomorrow, if it breaks above that key level, then we could see a sell-off. If it can maintain support, then we can see it to remain bullish. Now, Mara is a good way to go long on Bitcoin, and so is MSTR, okay, MicroStrategies. Great way to go long on Bitcoin. But if you're interested on maybe a way to short Bitcoin, and you really do feel strongly that Bitcoin is going to sell off, BITI is a ProShares short for Bitcoin. It actively shorts Bitcoin, and honestly, since Bitcoin has come down from that $102,000 level, BITI, or the ProShares short for Bitcoin, has gone from 2170 to as high as 2424 for, again, another 11% profit, guys. So there's money to be made on both ends. No one has to be right, no one has to be wrong. If you're going long on Bitcoin, short on Bitcoin, if you believe Bitcoin's going to go to the moon, if you believe Bitcoin's going to crash, whatever your belief, there is a potential to make money. You just have to identify those key areas and know what you're trading. Bitcoin goes long, I'm going to buy Mara or MSTR. If Bitcoin starts to sell off, then maybe I'll buy into BITI or other forms of being able to short Bitcoin. Again, by identifying direction, key levels like support and resistance, we can then determine if we want to even make a trade. Then we decide, is the opportunity cost there? Do I want to make 15%? Yeah. Compared to 1%? Yes. Okay. And if those all check out, then you can definitely make a trade. Now, the VIX, basically the volatility of the market through fear and greed index, it's very greedy right now. We haven't had a lot of fear. very greedy, staying above this 200-day moving average. So there's still a lot of people putting money into the market. They believe that it's bullish, and they're not afraid to continue buying at these all-time highs, which puts everything else at an interesting point. There's a lot of greed, yet the markets are overbought. If we look at, of course, QQQ selling off, Tesla, major sell-off from 488 to 389. AMD, geez Louise, going from $174 down to 114 bucks. Nvidia, from highs of 153 to lows of 135 now. Google, from highs of 201 to 192. Microsoft, highs of 456 to now lows of 419. Significant sell-offs. That's a 10% sell-off for Microsoft. Meta, again, a nice little sell-off from $638 to $599. That's a nice little 7% sell-off. Retracing, Amazon selling off a bit. Apple definitely selling off significantly from 260 to 230, a 10% sell-off. Now, why is this important? Why am I telling you this about all these companies? Well, one, they are actually a big part of the NASDAQ market. All these companies influence QQQ, which reflects 1-to-1 of the NASDAQ, right? Very tech-heavy market here. So when all of these sell off and they're oversold the way they are, well, what do they tend to do? They tend to rebound. Now, if they can hold support levels and rebound tomorrow, and all of these as a collective can begin to go up, then QQQ, we can see a nice retracement, potentially 3-4%, which would then give us that opportunity with TQQ to make anywhere from honestly 12 to 18% profit. That'd just be amazing. On $1,000, that's $100 to $200, just to keep it real simple. And if you have $10,000, that's a quick $1,000 to $2,000. Now, stocks that we are watching, guys. Stocks we're watching here. Coca-Cola, again, just consolidating. Not doing much. Kind of going along with our trade plan here. Just kind of consolidating above 60, but not anymore above 64, right? So above 60, below 64. We want a significant breakout with Coca-Cola. We could see this breakout from those $60 levels to 70. That's a 20% profit there. Okay, $11 per share. Palantir, again, showing signs of it being very bearish recently. But again, could we see possible bounce from 67, maybe $60? Back retracing to $84, or we're going to see this begin to sell off even more. That's what's so exciting about all these companies that we track every single week. Piton selling off slightly, finding some support around $8. Sound also selling off significantly along with this trend line. And guys, another key level with SoundHound AI, $14, right? Key support 13. So if it can hold between $13 and 14 like it did in the past, we can see a nice retracement, a nice rally back up to those previous highs of 75%, maybe even 80 to 90% profit if those begin to retrace. Now we want to be aware that SoundHound can also sell off. It can go back down easily to $9 or even $5 for a 30 to 60% loss. So be very careful with these companies. XPEV, very nice, right? Consolidating within that 11.15 range, $13.50 range. Very nice little moves, but when you can catch them from 11 to even 14, that was a 31% profit move. Bouncing back from say $12 to $13.50. You're only seeing about $1.50 per share, but that's a 13% move by XPEV. And can we see that again? It's already starting to set up. If we would have bought at lows of $11, we'd already be up 10%, as it is already at $12.30. Now, if it could push up to $13.50, you could even have a max profit of $21. It pushes up higher to $14. That's a 33% profit. Now, it's XPEV. We do want to be aware that this is a electric vehicle company. It's a China-based company, and with Trump kind of putting tariffs and stuff on those type of companies may influence the market a little bit. I believe that's what happened here when it pushed up to 15. Some news of the tariffs came out and it pushed down to 11. But again, a very nice horizontal pattern here. This is what we like to see. Horizontal patterns or ascending patterns. We like to invest in things that are kind of trading horizontally or trading up. We don't like to trade in companies that are going down, okay? We like to trade those nice reversal style companies. So definitely potential with XPEV. LUNR, very nice move over the past month or so from 12.18, which was December, pushing up from $11.40 to highs of $22.50. That was a 90% profit. That's insane. So buying at 10 or 11 bucks, selling at 20 to 22, you're doubling your money. Okay? And since it's gone up that high, it's been selling off. And again, we want to make sure that we can capitalize on this when it does sell off. So it comes down to $16.50, maybe down to $15. We may then want to consider buying. It could even come down to as low as 11 bucks, right? But we want to make sure it's bullish by holding above this 200-day moving average. And as you can see, it hasn't actually gone down below this moving average at all. It stayed very well above the moving average. Even when it does touch the moving average here, it does stay above it. So, you know, say $14.50, $15, get a nice push from there back up to highs for a nice 47% profit. So we're definitely going to be keeping our eyes on LUNR. TRMD, this was a company that I had made a video on about a year ago, okay? About a year ago. We did do an update on it recently. This does pay a dividend every single quarter, okay? And right now it seems to be averaging about $1.50 per share. Just recently it announced in November there was one for $1.20. There's also one for $1.80 in August, but roughly around $1.50 per share for a dividend. Well, it was at a key level. One of our subscribers called it out, and I did another video. Well, when he called it out, it was right at this $17 level where there's plenty of areas of consolidation. And from $17 to up to $36 was 109% profit. 109% profit, plus you got quarterly dividends for every share you owned. Now, TRMD or TORM is doing the exact same thing. It's reforming a nice 3 stages of reversal where you get that nice sell-off here, that rejection period, had a little bit of consolidation for about a day or two, and now is pushing up stage 3, which is the confirmation stage, showing signs of it being very bullish. Now from $17 to $22, it's already up 26%. So our subscriber who called it out, one of our LTE members, called it out and is already up 26%. Now, my thought is he going to hold all the way up back to 36 for 100% profit? Very possible. And what does this mean for you? Well, there is still potential. As you can see, it's above the 9-day EMA and that 45-day EMA, right? Those two moving averages showing signs of it being bullish, a lot of green bullish indicators. If you buy in at $22.50, $23, maybe after this next support level, do you see that right there, that little red candle? See if it gets above 23. If it does, potentially, you know, have a 27% profit to that moving average, and if it goes back up to previous highs, you could have a 58% profit. Not bad. Not bad, okay? So TRMD is definitely on our watch list. SMCI is one of those companies I don't really want to mess with too much. It's kind of an overbought, overhyped company. It had a very big push from $30 to $122. And then what did it do? It sold off all the way back down to $17. Wait, what? So it started at 35, 30, went up to 122, and then went lower than when you could have bought at. So if you bought at 30, it went down to 17. That's insane, right? That's insane. So SMCI went up 268%, 275%, and then sold off 84%. Okay, now it's struggling to get above $48, right? From 17 to 48, that was a nice 133% profit. Pushing back down to those $30 levels for a 36% sell-off. I just don't really see SMCI doing much. It's holding support above $30, which is great. And if we can get a nice move above 35 to 48, that's a 37% profit, right? But we got to see some major volume, some good news for SMCI. SoFi also very nice, looking very good. Again, holding that support level above $14. Could we see a nice rally from 14 up to that 200-day moving average for about 11% profit, or back up to all-time highs for about a 22% profit? It's very possible. LCID, Lucid Group, again, nice dip below, getting a nice support at about $3 here. Could potentially push back up to 365 for a quick 20% profit. GEVO, there has been news for politicians investing in GEVO. It got up to, from lows of $1.42 to highs of $3, 108% profit, guys. Okay, now it has sold off about 27%. If it can hold support around this level, we can get a nice pump up for a 35% profit. So I'm not sure if you guys are noticing these reversal patterns, key support levels, and potential areas for it to rebound to make tremendous profits. We're not talking 1 or 2 or 3%. We're talking 10, 20, 30, 40% profit, even 100% profit when you could initially get these moves. Okay, I want you to be aware of them. Add them to your watch list. Don't have to trade them. You could just watch them. Okay, Fubo TV had some news about Disney and Hulu Plus merger, how they're going to merge live TV and sports and all kinds of other great stuff. Pushing up from $1.42 to $6.58 for a 300% profit. How about that? Almost 400. Selling off about 25% and really not doing much, holding above $5. Could push up, could sell off more. These ones are very high risk companies. That's why I like to talk about them last, because I usually either lose interest or there are people who are a little bit more experienced who, you know, they get what I'm saying. They understand these different levels and, you know, are also probably watching them as well. ARBR Robotics, another company that had a lot of hype, a lot of people investing in this. As well, from $1.50 to $5.30, 215% profit, selling off from those $5.30 levels to about $3.55, and now finding a lot of consolidation, a lot of support around 380, 350, I'm sorry, and now up to 380. So buying at those 350 levels at 380, just that tiny little move on the map, guys, that's a 15% profit. If it pushes up to all-time highs of $5.30, again, that is a 55% profit. And we're talking, you could buy 100 shares for like $400. Right? $400, make 50% profit. That's a $200 profit. And you don't need a lot of money to invest in that. Imagine a few thousand shares. Now it starts getting a little more interesting. Last but not least, what a great live stream. I'm trying to get all this in within about 30 minutes or less. We're at 32 minutes, so not bad. 33 minutes. Serve Robotics, another interesting company that has got a lot of hype, a lot of news, and a lot of people investing in it. So if, you know, there's politicians and there's these kind of higher up people buying into these companies, I'm definitely going to keep paying attention. Now, honestly, I should have got into this company sooner. Serve, or SERV, was basically consolidating around 750 to about, I want to say about 950 for quite some time. And then in December 5th, it pushed up from that 950 level, as you can see, crossed over that moving average, and as soon as it did, it went from $9 to highs at $24 for 177% profit. And get this, in 30 days. In 30 days, a lot of these companies are moving within 30 days or less. Okay, so you want to make 171% profit, double your money, triple your money even within a month, then these are the companies that you need to be aware of. You need to be watching and definitely tuning in to more of these Sunday night stock talks. I spend all week looking through companies that I find value in, companies I've talked about, and companies that we periodically watch over and over and over. Next week, you probably see the same companies. I may add one or I might minus one, but majority, a lot of these companies we watch continuously over and over because we can catch these trades from 8 to 15. It went up 80%, pulled back from $11 to $17. It went up 56%, pulled back, buy it again at 12, push it up to 18, another 50% profit. So by being able to, again, keep these on your watch list, identify key areas to buy and sell, you can make an insane amount of money in a very small amount of time. How about 80% profit in 6 days? You have $1,000, you want to double it to 2,000, you have a week. These are definitely possible, okay? Again, all these setups are setting us up for another 80% move, another 60 to 80% move. That's 50% to all-time highs. And every time it's rebounded, it's gone higher than all-time highs. So 50, 70% profit potentially for SERV. Definitely possible. And that's why we like to do these Sunday night stock talks. So I know that was a lot. There's a lot of companies to watch, to look at. Do you guys have any companies you want me to check out? Call them out in the comments. And if not, then we may just wrap up the live stream. Hope that was a lot of information that helped you. Hope you found it informational, educational, inspirational, motivational, or whatever it is that you found in it. Do me a favor, smash that like button. Subscribe to the channel if I earned your, if I earned your like and you find value in what I'm doing, definitely subscribe. We do this every Sunday and we go live every morning, Monday through Friday. So you can tune in as early as tomorrow, 100% free. And yeah, if you guys have any companies you want me to call out, any call outs for this week? Could check the Discord real quick, see if there's anybody here. Announcements. No. But what's amazing, guys, here we have over 220 Discord members. It is a free community who usually tune into these live streams here, and they want to learn more about day trading and swing trading. And if that's a little bit too much for you, you just want to learn how to make passive income or invest long term, then you can check out our Investing for Beginners community with over 73,000 members, and that is a private group on Facebook, the Investing for Beginners community. So definitely check them out. A lot of free resources out there. I hope that inspired you to have a better, better week trading, and hopefully you guys can make some money. Tina's all, we're here, we're just taking in all that information. It is a lot. It is a lot. Let me know, guys, if it's too much, if we need to reduce this to maybe 3. We could do 3, maybe do a market update, go over the NASDAQ, go over gold, crypto, and do maybe the 3 companies I'm looking at, because it is a lot. It is a lot. By this time tomorrow, or by tomorrow morning, I'll be looking at only about 1 or 2 companies to actually take a trade in. But again, we won't know until pre-market, which maybe 1 or 2 companies I'll be looking at potentially taking a trade in, which has the best maximum opportunity for potential profits, right? Because anyone can invest in a 1% company, a company, and make 1%. What we want to do is identify the best opportunity to put our money for the day to maximize our profits, make 5% or 10% or even 20% sometimes in a single day. It just all depends if we're watching the right companies or not. So great job, Tina. Thank you for commenting. Thank you guys for tuning in. I appreciate your time. Remember, let's all end the year on a green note and stay informed and keep ourselves educated. Showing up every day really is the best way to become profitable long term. You can't expect to show up one day on a Monday and then trade on a Friday and then show up one other day like the next week. it doesn't work. You got to show up every single day. The market is like a heartbeat. You need to understand the market. You need to track it, watch it, and understand it before you could actually become profitable. So thank you guys. Appreciate your time. Like always, let's end the year on a green note. Guys, enjoy the rest of your Sunday night, and we'll see you all in the morning.